guys, it's Tina, and I am coming back after not having done a video for a long time, but this video in particular has been on my heart for months, and I finally had an afternoon where I could sit down and just get it out there. So last May, I posted a video that I think the title is Goodbye Mortgage and Goodbye Work Anxiety. And at the time that I posted that video, I felt very strongly that that was my reality, that once my mortgage was paid off, I would be able to walk away from the stresses of work, the anxiety of work, and that ultimately work wouldn't be able to get me down anymore. I thought this would be true because I felt that because of my debt and because of my, financial responsibilities like bills and daycare and things like that, that I was trapped in my job. And I truly believed that as somebody who was earning a substantial income, that until my mortgage was paid off, I had to stay there. I just had to see this through. I had to muscle through and get this task of paying off my mortgage done. And in my mind, I'd convinced myself that when that was done, I would be liberated. I would be happy. I would be able to say goodbye to all the stresses of work. And to be perfectly honest with you, that's not what happened at all. It lasted for a couple of months. I had my honeymoon phase, and then work got really rocky. There were some major failures that happened within my area of responsibility. I had to take accountability for them, and my stress skyrocketed to the point where, I was miserable. I was utterly miserable. And I feel like that video was deceptive not because I was trying to lie, but again, because I had deceived myself. I had convinced myself that when my mortgage was paid off, I would see things differently. I would feel differently about things that weren't even related to financial health. And it's so hard to admit it, but I was so wrong. I couldn't have been more wrong. And I just want you guys to know that, because I love Dave Ramsey and I love being debt-free, and it is liberating in some aspects, but it didn't really change who I am. It didn't really change about how I want to be perceived at work. It didn't change my responsibilities outside of finances. And so that desire, that feeling of it will change my whole life, then once I have this mortgage paid off, was so off base. In the end, I found other ways to cope with the stress. I've done a lot, and maybe I'll talk about that in a future video. But more than anything, I want to talk about this idea that I saw on YouTube. There's a life coach named Brooke Castillo. She has a podcast. I think it's called The Life Coach School, and I've been hooked on her. I listen to her during most of my walks. And in the video, she works a lot with weight loss clients, and she says to them, after you lose the weight, how will your life be different? And oftentimes she'll hear the reply, well, I'll be happy. And she has them go through a thought exercise where, okay, well, tell me what's going to change? Why will you be happy? And after going through the full thought exercise, a lot of times they come to the conclusion of, okay, some things will be more enjoyable, like going clothes shopping or not feeling so self-conscious about my physical appearance. Maybe I'll be more outgoing when I meet new people, things to that effect. But the bottom line is, they're still going to be who they are on the inside. Them being skinny isn't going to change how they react to their children's misbehavior or how they cope with work anxiety, for example. So it's I heard this video and it clicked for me. It's oh my gosh, I'd put so much on paying off my mortgage. I really believed I was going to be a newer, improved, I want to say imperturbable. I don't even know if that's a word, but that's what I really thought was going to happen with me. And it couldn't have been further from the truth. It's life just came down and taught me a massive lesson this past year. And I'm coping with that. I'm doing really well. Things are much improved, so don't worry about me. But I want you guys to know that if you're making that mistake too, still, I'm a cheerleader for paying off debt. I'm a cheerleader for paying off your mortgage. But don't deceive yourself into thinking it's going to change your marriage or your relationships or your work experience. The bottom line, the only thing that'll change that is the way you think and the way you react. So big lessons for me. I'm still learning a lot about this life coach from this life coach school, and maybe I'll do some videos on my thoughts on that later. But again, I'm so happy for the new year. 2017 came to a close, and honestly, goodbye. Like, I don't even want to see it. They always say, bye, Felicia. Like, that's how I feel about 2017. So going into the new year, new goals, a lot of fun projects coming up for my family and I that I'll hopefully be sharing with all of you guys. And anyway, I'm wishing you guys all happiness, health, and wealth. Goodbye for now.